everybody, I'm Natalie Thomas with PrincessPower.com. Sorry about that, trying to adjust the camera for you. So I am just about done painting the bed, and I have gone over the steps with you in other videos. Now what we're going to be doing is applying the new upholstery. And I'm going to go over some tips with you about that before I get started. I've got my Fanatic staple gun here. It's going to make things a lot easier. It costs about $29. And that means it's electric. Now I have several handheld staplers, and I have always recovered my sofa with a handheld, but I don't know if they made these back in the day. I probably couldn't have afforded one back then. But as I talk about over on princesspower.com frequently, I was a grandmother before I started my business, but now I've done well over $10 million in business. I did $10 million in business my first 4 years, and I teach about that at princesspower.com. I teach about health, wealth, and relationships. So I bought this beautiful fabric on clearance for $10, and it was 54 inches wide, which is very wide. And I bought one yard, and I think I was going to use it for another project. And then I really started digging the idea of using it on the bed. And I went and I bought another yard. So let's talk about that. I was kind of lazy and didn't get around to setting up my sewing machine in the new house I've moved to, and just was dreading the idea of sewing it. But when you have to sew something like that, it's very simple to put the two pieces together, and you put the faces together, and you sew a straight line, and then when you open it up, your proper edge, the seam is on the inside, the back side, okay? But if I did that, I would have a seam running right smack down the middle of my piece, and that's not very eye appealing. So what I did was I took the second yard of fabric, folded it in half, cut down the middle, and then I sewed one piece to each end. Now that's twice as much sewing, not a big deal. And I will do the same thing when I cover my sofa in the other room. I have a beautiful 160-year-old sofa, something like that, in the other room that I have had for about 40 years, and little less than 40 years. And I recover it every once in a while. It takes me about 45 minutes flat, and I absolutely love that sofa. So I already put one tack in to get me started here. I wanted to make sure my machine was working and all that kind of thing. But what I needed to do next was I ironed my piece of fabric, and then I ironed those seams going out so that they both go out in the same direction. That'll give some better aesthetics to the piece. And then I found the center, okay? And because this particular piece goes up more than it does here at the center, I had to make sure I allowed enough room for that. Now I already have nail heads here. I didn't take off the old covering. So let's talk about some of what I'm going to do. I'm going to tack down this fabric with the stapler. And what I'm trying to do is make it taunt in every direction as I do that. Now, this is a roll of nail head tape. Okay, this particular one cost me $19.99. I have 3 of these around my house. The reason I bought this one is because I can't find the other 2. My son cleans up, and then my stuff goes bye-bye. So here it looks like we have all the nail heads. It's not really true. There's a strip of almost false nail heads in here, and then every, let's say 5th one, I'm really not sure how far it is, has a hole in it, and then you take one of these and you tack it in. So what's really holding your fabric is the staples, okay? And you're going to see, I'm going to have an edge of fabric sticking up here. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to come in with a blade, a razor blade, and I'm going to cut off the excess, and then these nail heads will cover up. Now, are these nail heads exactly the same color as the others? They are not. So what am I going to do? I am going to go in with my gold paint and make them the same. It's not a big deal. So here we go. And let me just make sure, let's see where I can work and you can see and my body not be in your way. Let's try this way. So again, I'm looking to be taut, and I don't want to get these strings all in the way here. And I want to be able to pull everything down. So I'm just looking Not really sure yet exactly how close I have to be with my staples because I haven't worked with this much. And I may run out of staples before we're done, but that's okay. You don't have to have me see me do everything. Now I need to push in on this fairly hard before it's going to work there. There we go. And I'm just feeling to get under the nail heads. Okay, so I'm looking to get my fabric taut. And that one, wow, I came in pretty far under the nail heads, but it's not a problem. It's going to cover up by the nail heads. I just don't want to go too far. Okay. And obviously once I get across, then I need to pull it down taut and to the sides taut. But we're kind of trying to work it along all the way to make sure I'm not getting in any strangeness in here. Okay, so we're going to get one about here. Good. Can you still see? Let me turn the camera just a little bit while we keep going. And I believe I can completely get this project done tonight. This is not going to take a lot of time to finish this last part out. I did leave my spare staples upstairs. I won't be finishing the whole thing while you're watching, but I just wanted to give you a good idea of how it works. I'll need a little hammer, and somebody left that out on my patio in my dog kennel area. So I'll have to take some time to go out and get that. I'll use that for the putting in the nail heads. But see how nicely, smoothly this is going on? And look at how beautifully the colors in this fabric go with the design that I did on the bed. I've had this bed for a number of years, and it was a beautiful wood tone. When I found it, it was in a resale shop for $1,500, and they had marked it down to $750. And I was just delighted. I snapped it up. Now, it was a great big, huge canopy bed. Sometimes you have to push pretty hard on that to get it in there before it's gonna, there we go. It kind of wants to bite in to what it's going to attach to before it's a staple. And that is just fine. That's going to give us a better finish. And I will say the reason they marked the bed down another $750 was because it had some grease on it. Somebody's head back in this area. I went out, I bought a $6 bottle of Resolve, sprayed that, cleaned it up, and used that same upholstery for years. This is just now that I'm changing this. And it's just because my bedroom is basically in blues and creams, and I happened to find this beautiful fabric. I wasn't planning to do it, wasn't thinking about doing it. And I get inspired and do all kinds of crazy things. So that gives you an idea of how I'm doing the bed. I think that's enough for today, but I will quickly show you one of my other crazed inspirations that I'm not going to follow through with. That is some wallpaper that I bought over there. The whole room is disheveled because I'm remodeling and have had to take things out of different spots of the house and move it around. I thumbtacked that wallpaper up there to kind of think about it. I was actually going to get on a ladder, and I found some that you could paste the wall and not the wallpaper. And I thought, okay, this is pretty cool. But my walls, if we go over this way, are actually, I can't even reach the top and show you. They're about 22 feet high. And I do have a 15-foot ladder, which is really heavy to carry in. I can make my son help me. But I just decided that wallpaper's not worth it. Even though I took a major shelf down to be able to get started on that, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do that. So what's worse is I started another project, and it would be better if I finished some of the projects before I started a new one. But this, of course, I wouldn't need to take down any wallpaper in order to get started with that. And in the bathroom, I started taking down the wallpaper because I bought this. I spent the money on it. So I thought, well, I'll use the wallpaper. Now, see, I'm supposed to be tiling the bathroom floor while my husband is gone. He doesn't know that. He doesn't like remodeling. So I was trying to do it while he's gone. But now I've made a mess and gotten myself into this wallpaper thing. And I do tend to think things will be a little easier than they sometimes are. But once you watch some videos, they are pretty easy. That's why I teach you how to do some of the things I do. And yeah, now I can't get the ladder into some of the spots where I need to get up higher to get to the wallpaper to remove it and to apply it. So I've made a little mess there. Tomorrow's Christmas, so nobody's going to come help me with that right now. And what else am I working on? Well, that's enough. It'll all get done eventually. I've been replacing the spindles behind me. I've been taking these out and putting in wrought iron ones. Most of the rest of the house has wrought iron ones. And up there somewhere, if we look way up there, I have sort of kind of finished those. I haven't put the glue in them, but I have them in. And one of my other plans when my husband was gone was to finish this project. And I think I bought a few too short. So I have to find out how many more that I need, buy those. Yeah, it's always something. You know, you get started on something and you run into an issue, and that's why I start other projects. It's not that I'm so ADD that I can't finish something. I finish lots and lots of things. Um, but I remember my hand got really tired from holding the glue gun. It's not like a hot glue gun, but it takes a lot of force in your hand, and I just didn't finish. I got blisters and I had to rest my hand for a while, which has now turned into a year. So at least for the living room. I've worked on this more recently. So this is how I'm going to proceed with the bed. And I will probably come in with one more video and show you the finished project. So thanks for watching, and God bless you, and Merry Christmas to those that are watching around the holidays. Bye-bye.